about fan stuff as well. People put their whole heart into it because it's a special kind of passion. I'm not saying
Mhm.
that original art isn't special as well. Obviously it is, but you know.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the one of the big things about fan run shows like this is they have a little bit more leeway to do kind of weird because they don't
Mm,
have to. A lot of the people who run these shows, this isn't their job.
mm-hmm.
Unlike with Death Battle, uh, so they don't have to, play to an algorithm necessarily, and try
They
and
can do what they want.
yeah, they can try and pick up like random shit they just want to do.
You can say fan characters versus creepy
I mean,
guys.
Chara isn't really a fan character, but the only
You know
thing
what I
is
mean.
how nebulous their like actually being fucking named Chara is.
Well, I think it's basically canon because it's easier to refer to a character who's unnamed as what they are in the true name.
Uh, but yeah, we will be doing only 2 episodes with analysis portions. The rest we're just gonna be watching the animation because for a lot of these fan made episodes, one thing I have noticed is their analysis portions do tend to go on for very long. For better or for worse, I think. They're not limited to trying to keep the attention of the average viewer. Again, it's a difference between a big, big project for the love of the game rather than trying to appease YouTube, which, Lord knows, we all know how difficult appeasing YouTube can go.
Exhausting.
Um, oh yeah. How much do you know about Sonic.EXE, Sonia?
So I feel like I'm gonna learn a lot anyway, but is it like Sonic.exe is obviously a creepypasta.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I feel like I probably read it before, but I've read a lot of creepypastas, unsurprisingly, I guess. So it probably kind of just like merges all into one. Does it have hyper-realistic blood?
Oh, well, you know it does. It was one of the founders of that trope.
Then I probably watched. Did Sloopy do a audio like a creepypasta read of it once?
I
Because I think I was.
believe so, yes.
Then I've definitely heard it, but it's been a million years.
Yes. Sonic.exe did kind of fade away for a while until Friday Night Funkin' made it really fucking popular again.
Hell yeah, I'm here for it.
Uh, yeah, let's get into it, I guess.
Oh, flashing lights.
Horror is a fascinating genre. It's meant to elicit negative
Agreed.
emotions like fear and anxiety. But it's always comforting to know that none of this stuff is real, right?
But what if it was real? That'd be pretty whack, right?
Hey, that's supposed to be my
Jesus Christ.
The two main players of this story are
Oh, yeah, actually, I should say as well. This was Nebula Theater. It is run by a person named Plime. I've actually talked to them a little bit. They seem like a really nice person.
Cool.
Yeah. I'll talk about that later. But
Chara, the first fallen human.
In Sonic.exe, the god in hedgehog form. I'm Nils.
Sorry, I love art
We
like
are your
that. It makes
playwrights,
me
and we hope you
smile.
enjoy this bloody show we are putting on today. Without further ado, let's teach you a little bit about these characters. Welcome, audience, to the Nebula Theater. Once upon a time, there was a war between humans and monsters.
The humans were victorious, forcing the monsters into a subterranean world called the Underground, and erecting an everlasting barrier around them, forcing them to live in isolation for the rest of their days.
For the monsters, this was a crushing sentence, but under the guidance of the peaceful King Asgore and Queen Toriel, they were able to make the most of their situation.
During
So one thing I will say, compared to a lot of other fan shows that I have watched, I should say usually I don't watch the analysis portions. For one reason in particular, when it comes to fan shows, a lot of their mics are really bad.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
This one is a lot better. It's not
Yeah.
studio quality, obviously, but like
Yeah.
it's streamer quality.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
I ain't
Like-
gonna fault it. You can tell that it's not as like fancy, but like I don't care.
Yeah, like when it comes to something like this, you don't need a full ass fucking audio setup. For the love of God, don't use your fucking headset mic.
Oh no.
Get something better. Like this, the microphone I have right now, as a matter of fact, I've had it for. Oh God, I've
had mine for over a decade.
yeah, it might be getting close to that. And I got it for like $30 off Amazon. It was on sale at the time, but
I think I got mine it was probably like $100, but Sonia Law used to be on a podcast, so this was probably a good podcast quality mic 10 years ago.
yeah, like I don't need anything studio quality, but for the love of God,
Yeah,
get a
exactly.
decent microphone. Like I said, this isn't particularly at them because their mics are pretty decent, but it's just something
fine.
I've noticed with fan shows in
the
general.
king and the queen had their first child, Azrael Dreamer, who was destined to do great
Baby.
things. But he would not
Go
be their
baby.
only heir.
One day, something unexpected would happen. An unhappy child would fall into the underground. A human named Chara.
The king and queen adopted Chara as their own, and Chara and Azrael would soon become best friends, as good as siblings even. But there was something that still left Chara discontent.
Chara came into the underground with a hatred for humanity, especially after hearing about the monster's imprisonment. And once they
Okay,
found
I
out-
was about to say, what the fuck is this from? I did see the bit at the bottom there.
how to destroy the barrier, it was only a matter of time before they enacted a plan
There's
to
a
free the
lot of
monsters.
Undertale
Now,
fan
Chara's
content.
plan was to poison
Oh, yes, there is.
There
themselves
is a
with
lot.
toxic flowers and then die. Points for creativity. Then they would have their best friend Azrael absorb their human soul, which would grant Azrael immense power, enough to pass through the barrier.
Big.
There, Azrael with
Big,
Chara's
become
soul
big.
would kill 6 more humans and take their souls.
You see, human souls contain incredible power, and this barrier could only be destroyed by the might of 7 human souls. Chara sacrificed himself to both save monsterkind and exact vengeance upon humanity, but they weren't the only one in control, since Azrael made up half of their fusion.
Now, Azrael wasn't fully on board with the whole killing the humans thing. When a crowd of them attacked him out of fear, Azrael didn't fight back. Instead,
Look
he
at these
abandoned Chara's
mother
mission,
free-ass guys.
returned to the underground grievously
I'm
wounded,
I'm
and
pretty
empty-handed.
sure they were explicitly from
They are mother
from
free, I can tell.
Earthbound, yeah.
Ended.
Mother
There,
3 or
Azrael would
Earthbound, one
succumb
of
to his
the two, yeah.
injuries and die, turning into dust while holding Chara's corpse. The king and queen had lost both of their children after one failed plan.
Man, when you really think about it, Azrael's kind of an L-mans. Like, Chara killed themselves for this, and Azrael did nothing, basically making both of their deaths kinda pointless. Like, killing 6
He was a
humans
little
obviously isn't a
baby.
great thing, don't get twisted, but still.
Little baby!
Are you crying?
No, shut up.
I'm sorry, man. In any case, the underground is now thoroughly shaken. Even after being imprisoned, the humans continued to take from them. To keep hope alive and to get revenge on humanity, Asgore made a drastic decree. All humans who fall underground will be killed, and their souls taken.
As the years went by and more children fell underground, Asgore collected all but one of the souls needed to destroy the barrier and finally escape into the human world, starting the war all over again.
This is where the story of Undertale begins. As
Story of Undertale, you say?
Yeah, we're
Those who
gonna
know
play
know.
Huh?
You take control of the player character Frisk, the latest fallen human to fall into the underground.
Frisk is mysterious. Not much is known about them from before they fell. But what we do know is that with your help, they are actually a very capable fighter.
Toriel teaches the human the very basics of combat. How to defend themselves, and how to pacify foes without fighting at all. Each monster has a way to pacify it non-lethally, but it is still an RPG. So you have the option to do it the old-fashioned way and just kill them all.
Kinda makes you wonder what would happen if you went out of your way to kill literally everyone, doesn't it?
Just full scorched earth. Undertale isn't just a traditional RPG, it's also a bullet hell, which means Frisk specializes in dodging attacks, waiting for openings, and then punishing the opponent with strong blows.
And Frisk's equipment, while limited, does the job just fine.
The human has the torn notebook, burnt pan, empty gun, and the strongest weapon anyone's ever seen, the real knife. It hurts just looking at it.
That's not even mentioning Frisk's best weapon, their cell phone. Look, hear me out. This cell phone can let Frisk fly and let them shoot lasers.
Not to mention the numerous healing items they have to keep themselves in the fight longer.
Monsters in Undertale don't fight conventionally. They attack the soul directly, meaning that these items are not only healing Frisk's body, but also their soul as well.
But, even if their soul is destroyed by an enemy, the human has a broken ability called Determination. Just like a video game, this lets Frisk save their progress, and load back into their previous save point. So Frisk journeys through the underground, killing every single...
Because it is explained that this is what human can do.
Yeah, so again, I actually have not watched this analysis portion, but one thing I did see people talking about is it is sort of a 3-step analysis in a way, where it goes from talking about kind of all 3 of the major players in Undertale, which is Chara, Frisk, and Asriel.
Being they can get their hands on, increasing their level as they go.
Actually, it's not pronounced level. It's pronounced love. Frisk is increasing their love as they go.
Now, hang on just a second. What do you mean their love increases the more they kill people?
So LV is actually short for love, and love is an acronym of levels of violence.
Well, I guess...
God, this is still the funniest thing that Toby Fox has done. Calling fucking LV levels of violence.
That's the level
Oh shit, there he is.
of writing we could expect from
Like,
a
are you
award-winning
talking
game
about when
dev Toby Fox. Wait a
Toby's right
second.
there?
Does
That's the
EXP
funniest
stand
thing
for
he's
anything
done.
weird?
I'm
Yeah,
saying
EXP stands
shit
for
to his
execution
face.
points.
Well, whatever this love execution point system thing is, it makes the human an absolute terror, being able to kill most other monsters in only a few hits.
The reason why love makes someone stronger is because it represents the emotional distance you put between yourself and the people you're fighting. The more EXP you gain, the more you kill, the easier it is to kill again. Life kinda just loses its gravitas. Like, killing these people doesn't matter at all, almost like they aren't even real. This leads us back to Flowey. Flowey is a reincarnation of Asriel, although he resembles nothing of what he used to be.
Asriel's essence was fused with a flower, and then forcefully injected with determination, turning him into a soulless husk of what he used to be. Flowey, much like the human, did things out of curiosity. Killing everyone, saving everyone, being neutral. Don't that sound familiar?
This drive for curiosity is something Flowey and Frisk had in common. Well, actually, it's more like it's something that Flowey and the player had in common.
Now, it's time to get a little meta. None of the other humans that fell into the underground had enough determination to change the world like Frisk could.
The lines get a little blurry here, but there's a lot of indication that the determination itself doesn't come exclusively from Frisk, but also from the player themselves. Their curiosity, their desire to see what happens. All these timelines that are possible are all due to the player's actions.
Pacifism, genocide, these are all things that only the player can
Oh
control.
god,
And
let's player
Flowey
jump
is the
scare!
only one that can accurately recall these events. The only one that can call you out on your bullshit.
Or is he?
I remember your genocides, Chara.
After Frisk commits a genocide route and exterminates almost every single monster in the underground, they come face to face with Sans. Throughout the story, Sans has been more of a comedic jokester than anything else, but there's always something a bit off with this funny bone man.
He seems pretty unintimidating, but the truth is he's the last defense between the human and everyone else. And turns out, when he isn't avoiding work, he's pretty damn good at his job.
And his job is apparently kicking my ass.
Sans is smart, really smart. Like really, really, really smart. He understands.
Have you ever been Sans, Sonia?
I've never done the genocide route because
But
I don't like to hurt people.
that doesn't answer the question.
Then no, I haven't. Have you been in Sans?
No. I've tried. I usually give up.
So, like, do you go for the entire route, or do you just do the? I know that there's a.
No, I just do Bad Time Simulator.
I should try out Bad Time Simulator. I'll have a bad time.
Yeah.
Understands the world of Undertale more than almost anyone else, and he knows magic that breaks the mechanics of the game, playing like no other monster the player has fought. On top of all that, despite having no way to remember any resets, he can deduce via context clues exactly what you are. Someone determined to win the game. So if you're gonna fight dirty by getting as many do-overs as you want, so will he.
Yeah, this guy never ends his turn, meaning you never get your turn. So you cheat in kind. You manage to attack during Sans' turn. 2 times in a row, in fact. This catches Sans off guard for the first time, ending my last 6 hours of torment.
6 hours this try. With the human's obstacle gone, the only person left to kill is the king himself, Asgore Dreamer.
And here's where things get really interesting. Because of your actions in this timeline, the king doesn't even recognize you as human anymore, directly asking Frisk what kind of monster they are, leading to Asgore being non-confrontational.
Because of that, Flowey was able to kill Asgore before he even knew what was going on, and Flowey exhibits fear.
Flowey had claimed that he didn't have any emotions anymore, that he did everything out of curiosity, but at the moment of his death, where he knew he couldn't bring himself back to life, he begged, pleaded with Frisk, with the player, with Chara, not to kill him, saying that he never betrayed them after all.
Well, remember when I said Azrael kind of dropped the ball for not killing anyone when him and Chara fused? Well, I guess Chara felt similarly. With no monsters left, all that exists is Chara and the human. Chara was in a similar state as Flowey, but instead of having their
Sorry, I just saw the player. That's you. Don't job.
essence bound to a flower, they had their essence bound to Frisk, gaining more awareness as Frisk's love grew more and more.
Chara will ask the player whether they want to reset the timeline again or erase everything. No matter what the player answers, Chara will destroy every timeline no matter how many exist, and leave the entire universe as an empty void. Chara does this with a single slash, wiping out everything. Not just every normal monster, but everything within the current existing timeline in its entirety. This includes intangible monsters like Nebula, someone Frisk couldn't harm normally. This attack destroyed all of time and space. It even
Finally, the
destroyed the files
knife-killing
on the
ghost.
player's computer. Chara was able to destroy
Or
infinity. For
ghost
that to
killing
happen,
knife.
the speed and strength of this attack would be incalculable.
This attack breaks the game, turning it off, and when you open it back up again, and some time passes,
video
Chara will
games.
ask the player if they would like to restore the world in exchange for Frisk's soul. Your soul? The line's blurry.
Chara takes the soul for their own, recreating the entire cosmology of Undertale, and now taking control of Frisk's body whenever they wish.
And with that, we reach the end of the tragic tale of Frisk the Fallen Human. We know so little about them, but what we do know is that they had a life before and after the events of the game. That their own will is stolen by the player during the story, and they lose their future to Chara afterwards.
After genocide, resetting the timelines, and eventually taking Frisk's soul, not even the player can stop Chara from accomplishing their ultimate goal.
Because in the end, you're not the only one in control.
Good night, creepy ass.
The
I love
Karen
it.
jump scare.
I love, like, sometimes this Toby Fox does, like, I mean in the best way possible, the most JRPG-ass things.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
I just,
mean-
like, love it so much.
Have you played Chapter 5 yet?
Not yet. I know
Okay.
about the weird route stuff because, you
Oh,
know.
yeah, the Weird Out stuff is heavy.
Yeah. But, like, I haven't actually played the chapter yet. I know vague stuff about it.
Pretty good. I'm
I'm looking forward to it.
upset there's music I can't add into my stream playlist for a bit.
Is it the secret bus?
That's one of them. So I think realistically, I think my only criticism with the analysis portion of Chara is I think, in all honesty, they probably could have cut out voice or cut out talking about Sans in general.
Yeah.
like, I don't think... Realistically, I don't think it adds anything to the Chara section of the analysis. It doesn't add anything power scaling wise either. Like, if they were gonna bring up how, like, the Gaster Blasters are lasers, that would have been one thing, but they didn't mention that.
I also felt like we all know where Chara comes from, but I feel like they took a while to actually explain why we're talking about Frisk and Chara in the actual analysis.
Yeah, I did actually see that as a criticism a few times.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Yeah, I do think it's structured a little weirdly.
But it's okay.
Like, I get the idea of them wanting to talk about these, sort of big three in terms of,
And sense.
in sense. In terms of how they all impact Undertale.
Yeah.
It's something that, like, any analysis portion has to deal with. Especially when, like, it's a completely new world, so to speak. Because you have to talk about, especially with Undertale of all things, you have to talk about mechanics and how the world works and shit. And that can make writing a bit awkward at times.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of our dimension of the next
Anyway, this fucking guy.
I'm looking forward to learning about Sonic.EXE again.
exists a void of nothingness.
That is, until a mass of dark matter started forming, taking on the appearance of a dark cloud with red dots. This blob will be known as X.
After wandering around this void a bit, X came across this dimensional window that let him peer into the planet Earth, learning all kinds of things about humans.
That's where we live.
Our likes, dislikes, cultures, etc.
Sorry, I wasn't prepared for that dancing alien.
Of everything it witnessed, one thing stood out above the rest.
It was a franchise that we all know and love, Sonic the Hedgehog. X became infatuated with Sonic to an incredible degree, morphing his entire body to appear like Sonic himself, in a process that seems very uncomfortable.
X's
A bigger fan of classic Sonic than you are.
eyes started bleeding profusely and it felt incredible.
That, unironically though, that is a change I think is very funny and kind of good for Sonic.EXE as a creepypasta. Rather than it just be like generically haunting a video game cartridge, he became a big Sonic fanboy.
Abomination, like a abomination from a different world. Loves Sonic, loves him, loves him.
Love that hedgehog.
Has a
pain.
son that hates immensely. Sure, okay.
He's blue and he goes fast. How could you not love him?
But X didn't care. After its transformation, it let out a laugh that echoed throughout the entire void.
X would then shape his void,
Yeah, I mean,
creating
you
small
didn't play the
rooms that
Kafka laugh.
resembled areas you would see in the classic Sonic the Hedgehog games,
It might show
which is
up.
where some would say the series peaked, but I digress.
But as powerful as X was, it wasn't able to actually interact with our dimension. It didn't exist in it after all.
X believed that it was the rightful ruler of all human beings, that everyone deserved to be its slaves. The idea that X couldn't have access to them was frankly unacceptable.
So X needed to devise a plan to gain access to the humans it was so interested in, which led to an interesting conclusion. Although X couldn't
It
physically
is very funny how much, I mean, it makes sense, but how much fan work they have to use for this analysis.
Well, you know, it is
Because-
literally. Yeah.
Because of Sonic.EXE, like, what the fuck else are you gonna use?
enter that
Exactly.
dimension, it could influence the people inside of it. It can cause a person to feel immense anxiety, give them
Yeah, they
horrible
could
nightmares,
essentially
and
use
even
the
influence
text.
their minds
Yeah,
to do
just
its bidding.
literally
X
show
manipulated
text
this
on the
genius
screen.
US government level programmer to create a disk that would allow X temporary access to the human world. X then sent a piece of his dark power crashing down into the disk to complete it. This imbued the disk with his essence, which would give X complete control over the internals of the game itself.
And with all the steps complete, X can now begin its reign on humanity using a disk with only a single executable file in it. Sonic.EXE. Boom! Name drop, baby.
Now, people really like Sonic the Hedgehog, so taking on his image was the best thing for X to do. A person would buy a Sonic game online because they want to feel the nostalgia, find out the game wasn't what it seemed, but continue on, even after all this messed up stuff and crazy shit they see.
This includes 2 victims of X's control, Tom and Kyle.
Now, Kyle had sent Tom a copy of Sonic.exe with a note, explaining that he had passed away, and that Tom should destroy the copy of the game so no one else gets hurt.
Tom, for some reason, didn't listen to this warning, popping the game into his computer and playing the cursed disc that would seal his fate.
Now, you'd think a person would stop playing after they'd start seeing all the blood and gore throughout the game, but thinking that this was just some hacked
Nah, Tom was real fucking stupid.
copy of the original Sonic
I
the
think I'd
Hedgehog,
play
Tom
the
continued
weird
out of
Sonic
pure
game
curiosity.
myself.
This
as well.
curiosity would be lethal. Upon completing the
an
game,
idiot.
X
I'd
would
do
suck
it.
out Tom's soul, leaving his body in a
Oh, nice.
vegetative state, and then trapped his soul into X's void dimension, binding Tom's soul to an avatar of a Sonic character to play with until he breaks. Because of X's love of humanity, it saw this method as a way to keep humans alive forever, personally believing that the death of a human is a waste of a life.
But breaking them is not a waste of life, just to get that clear.
It's a god compared to them, okay? It's like when you're a kid and you break a toy, you just replace it with another one, even if
I
you
love
really
the
love the
tomato
toy
sauce
that
on the
broke.
ground.
Now, I don't know about you, but I never treated my toys like X treats the humans he's capturing. He can manipulate the shape of his own body, he can fly, teleport, create illusions, make fire appear from nowhere.
He had anti-gravity boots?
Mhm.
Sure.
Turn the world dark, make statues sentient. He even learns every single detail about you in just a few seconds.
Just take Renee Wirtz, for example. From the interaction of Renee playing the game, X found out her name and her exact location. I'd be willing to bet that if any of us were to play this cursed game, X would be able to find out our deepest, darkest secrets. Like how I like to cry to romantic love stories, and the fact that Nick is an SCP in a Santa disguise.
It's not a disguise.
Come on, don't even deny it, man. People have been speculating this for months.
What SCP do they even think I am?
People are saying that you're something like SCP-6121, you know, the one that's just a walking mascot costume?
Damn it. No one even cares about those ones.
Alright, let's just get back to the topic.
True, though. They only care about the fucking big adaptable lizard.
Repeat that one. Repeat that one.
The
The
what?
one that blinks. The ones that.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
He looks like a peanut.
Alright. Anyway, beyond everything we've talked about, X's most broken
like the only one I
ability
remember.
is the black hole inside of its mouth. If anyone is swallowed by this black hole, their soul will shrink into a singularity and be wiped off the face of the earth, as if they never even existed.
With all of X's powers, it would then have its disc cycle around
I
the
love
world,
the little
stealing
Eggman
soul after
sprite.
soul
Look
and
at
stuffing
it
them into
go.
avatars
It's
of
going
Tails,
so
Knuckles,
fast.
Eggman, etc.
Something
Some
I'm
of these
confused
arms
about
stick
is
out
how
in
is
the
the disc
air like
circling
that.
around
Like
in the
you just
first
don't
place?
care.
Do people really keep just buying the same game from dead person to dead person?
For this information, we can actually
Yeah.
thank a lovely detective named Derek Green. Derek was a detective who documented his investigations into the Sonic.exe murders, who unfortunately lost his soul to the very being he was investigating.
From Derek's diary, we learn a lot. We learn how quickly X was improving in stealing souls, initially mutilating the bodies he stole from, before quickly being
So
able
is
to
this,
do without
like,
any sign he was
One
there.
person continuing making the Sonic.exe, or is it like multiple people adding on to the lore?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Fair enough.
I mean, I know the original creator is a bad person.
Oh,
So it might have been, like, officially picked up by, like, someone else, and they continued it.
okay.
But I don't, like, know entirely. This might surprise you, Sonia. I'm 31. I don't read a lot of Sonic creepypasta.
I mean, fair, but also, why aren't you prepared to answer every single question I have for you?
That's fair.
At all. We learned that everyone who had their souls removed also had their PCs and electronics destroyed. We learned that X's overall plan is to merge the human world and his void to gain complete control of all mankind. And we also find out all the factions that helped X with his plans.
X's main following is called the Cult of X, a group of people who see
Sorry,
Yeah.
I need
Gain
to see that
complete
picture
control of all
again.
mankind. And we also find out all the factions
I like
that helped
Silver's
X
little
with
wolf
his plans.
animation
X's
here
main
anyway.
following is
Me when
Look
I'm
at
in a
this.
cult.
Me when I'm in a cult.
Is called the Cult of X, a group of people who see X as the overall ruler of mankind. They copied the main Sonic.EXE game file onto a bunch of discs and had them circulate all over town to create more
Plus, they're like
victims
the
for
ring.
X. The
Got
cult
it.
members would then show up to the home of a
Yeah, a
person
little
whose
bit.
soul was taken, take the soul back from said person to put it back into circulation, destroy any evidence, and sometimes murder the lifeless body of the person who had their soul stolen.
And that's not the only faction.
Seems like a little bit
Carrying
overkill.
out its mission to enslave
Well-
all humanity is a big ask, which is probably why he also needed help inside of his void as well. These beings are called the Seven Guardians.
The Seven Guardians were created when X mixed its own dark power with human emotions.
Oh,
my
I'm laughing
God.
because I love it.
I love the Sonic fan community.
Yeah.
They are so much.
Creating a ruling force within his void, as well as another way to manipulate human emotions to make it easier for X to steal human souls.
This includes beings like Gukiru, who can manipulate someone's rage, Kyofu, who can manipulate someone's fear, and their leader, Yakubo, who manipulate a person's desires.
The forces EXE has created are essential in helping
The writer for this was absolutely a weeb.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at these
X with
names.
his greatest weakness, the time limit it can spend in the human world.
When X steals a soul, he exits the game momentarily, steals someone's soul, and then returns to his void. This only lasts for a short while. If X stays in the real world for too long, he'll be ejected back into his void. This destroys his body, reducing it to its dark matter form.
Its dark matter form is much weaker than its X form, but if a soul were to touch its dark matter body, it would be erased from existence, like the black hole we saw earlier.
Now listen up, kids. Dark matter in theory is an invisible substance that isn't affected by light or electromagnetic radiation. It plays a very important role in maintaining gravity throughout the entire universe.
I was not expecting this actual science shit when talking about Sonic.EXE.
Well, this is what happens. You know this. It's like
I know about math! I wasn't expecting
Well-
talking about actual dark matter!
Well, he has dark matter, then we're gonna learn about dark matter. You
True.
should know this. You should know this, buddy. You're the death battle guy.
Unlike matter, there is no such antimatter equivalent that could destroy it completely. Now that being said, it is still a form of matter, meaning that there is a way to destroy it. It would just have to be something with so much energy it could essentially wipe out the entire universe and leave nothing in its wake.
How do you know this much about dark matter?
Hey, you've been around as long as I have, you pick up a thing or two about particle physics.
Starting to feel really inadequate about my statistics degree. In any case, though, X does have other weaknesses, those being his own mentality.
Yeah, X is a bit impatient. If someone were to play the game in a way that X didn't like, or bait it into getting really mad, it has a tendency to rage quit the game, putting X in a sort of sleep mode as the game systems get reset.
Defeating X is no easy feat, however. It was able to explore this entire void, which is a big 4D space, which means, Nick, help?
Hey, don't worry, I got you. 4D spaces have an infinite set of points, meaning there is no end. If X was able to explore the entire void, it would have to essentially have infinite speeds.
Okay, that makes sense. This is consistent with the Word of God, where Joe Doughboy states that X has limitless abilities and that his power level can't be measured. And here I thought
Jesus Christ.
just manipulating its own void was impressive.
X would spend years stealing more and more human souls, eventually learning how to manage its anger and gain even better control of its powers. See, Neil, it's not that hard. Even eldritch abominations beyond our comprehension can do it.
Wait, what is that supposed
Once he did this, he donned the name Lord X. A bit of a god complex there, if I do say so myself.
Okay.
Don't get it twisted. X might seem conceited, but compared to all of us small humans, it is God. And no matter how smart you are, X will always win in the end.
So, next time you see a Sonic game appear at your door, beware of its contents. Because
I'm gonna
before
play it
long,
immediately.
your soul could be its next plaything.
Destroy me. Destroy me.
God, that's
That
Now
not
that we've
wasn't,
introduced it.
that wasn't a Kefka laugh, so I don't know what. I don't know who
True!
this guy is.
0 out of 10. So I don't have as much to say about this one because, like, it's Sonic.EXE.
Yeah.
Like, there's only so many ways you can really talk about this without making it sound very silly.
It's I like the extra stuff in a lot of ways. It's kind of like one of those things where I think it's kind of wish it was more like an original like IP in a way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like for sure. Like if it wasn't tied to Sonic, it would be a lot less. I don't want to say this negatively, but it'd be a lot less cringy.
I'm not even cringy. It's just like it's a shame that they can't really do anything else with it other than be a fan thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hey, Ben drowned. That's my shit right there.
I don't think Ben Drowned really has any like versus stuff. Also, the predictions up for Chad and everyone. Solely because Ben doesn't do that much fighting.
He's just a creepy guy.
Because
Just
I
a
know
you know-
I've talked about this a bit, but Sonic.EXE's most quote-unquote popular opponent is Red from Godzilla Creepypasta.
makes sense because they're creepy pasta.
Yeah. And, like, to an extent, I think putting Creepypasta against Creepypasta works better than putting it against established characters. Though at least Chara is kind of nebulous enough that
Yeah.
it's okay.
I think Chara is basically a canon creepy pasta.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Do
Do you know when Men Drowned first happened, people actually tried to call the police.
That's
I had to
very
tell
funny.
me as a 15-year-old had to be like, no, this is not real. Do not call the police on Zelda forums.
God, that's so funny.
That's my Zelda fact for today.
Thank you.
Hey stars, it's time to open the curtains and see how this story unfolds.
I hope you enjoy the show.
Oh, actually, one other bit of thing I wanted to say. Two things actually. One, I do like that the hosts kind of have their own little bit of personality. It's like it's very clearly inspired by Wiz and Boomstick, but it's not directly copying them.
Yeah.
Two, I do like the overall like theming of the the presentation of it being a space theater type thing. Just kind of gives it its own. It gives it its own sense of self. Rather than directly aping something else.
Yeah. Inspired by.
Yeah, inspired by, not directly copying.
No, I lost to Sans again. Oh. It's funny because Sans is right here.
No, it's Sonic!
No!
Hey, I've been searching everywhere. I'm glad I finally found you. I just wanted to ask, would you like to play a game?
Sonic, no!
Damn, that's a sad game.
What an interesting soul you have. Up for
So
round
we have.
One thing I do kind of always appreciate whenever Sonic.EXE is involved in a thing is when he just does Sonic shit still.
Oh yeah, he's a big fan of Sonic. He's basically cosplay Sonic when you think about it.
He is, yeah. Oh shit! Okay, I want to get pause here.
Hmm. Oh, hi, Ty.
This is a hell of a time for y'all to raid into me.
Should we like start from the start? Hey, you're the stinky one. I'm pointing at everybody. You're the stinky one.
Howdy.
Howdy. So yeah, we are watching fan versus shows inspired by Death Battle. This is in fact Sonic.EXE.
Yeah.
Versus Chara from Undertale.
Yeah.
I will repeat. First off, let me pull this up. This is for our usual Death Battle watchings, but it's still applicable here. Don't be a piss baby is generally the big advice I always have to give when watching anything like this. Secondly, the big the big thing I said at the beginning of the stream, I'll repeat it now, is don't be a shit.
Don't be a shit. We'll cry.
Like, if you're a shit, you're gonna make Sonya sad.
Don't make me sad.
You cannot make Sonya sad. But yeah, like, this is people making something that, even if it's a little bit silly, that they are proud of, and that should be, even if it's Sonic.exe, involving Sonic.exe, don't be a shithead to the creators.
Exactly, especially when they have little to no budget to make this, probably.
Well, I'll talk about that after the fact.
We'll get into that later, but
I will say that the creator for this one in particular, very much well pays everybody.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I think we should start from the animation again.
Yeah,
obviously not the analysis, because that is...
Yeah, that'd be 20 minutes.
I hope you enjoy the show.
Don't worry, I won't repeat my jokes.
Hey,
they weren't that good
I've been
anyway.
Searching everywhere. I'm glad I finally
don't
found
know.
you.
I thought the Sans thing was pretty
I just wanted
good.
to ask, would you like to play a game?
Sans Nick.
Sans Nick. I bet there is a sprite of just Sans and Sonic combined.
Probably. Like, I mean, there's Sans and Garfield, so...
I mean, you know, I kind of get that, though. Now, in this scenario, do you think he's just replaced Sans?
Probably killed him. Or ate him.
Oh!
Interesting soul you have.
Sad.
Up for round 2.
Oh yeah, I actually will pause real quick because this was at the warning at the very beginning. Flashing lights warning, there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
You're too slow. Maybe next time.
Oh, I see.
Finding everyone in this realm was so easy. Everyone is so slow, fragile, and weak. Don't worry.
See, I told you he ate sands.
Next.
Woo!
The most powerful weapon of all!
Gun. The voice actor is having a lot of fun.
The voice actor for EXE, unironically, is pretty damn good.
Yeah, it goes sounding like Sonic.
This mine seems to be at its limit. It's no fun anymore, but I can play with you, right, Chara? Ooh.
Can't run.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, I will say this animation is actually quite long.
Yeah, I was quite surprised when I thought this was getting to the end and now the minions are here. I guess this is letting Chara do some cool things.
True, the minions were last time.
Shut up. Did he just eat the save point?
Put you in control, like some sort of god.
What do you mean I can't snooze the ads? Oh, well. Sorry, chat! Can't snooze the ads, so,
Very well.
if you want to not get ads, sub, I guess.
This realm, there's just so much death and destruction. Why do you let it persist? Because of some perverted design and time?
I'm not one of you monsters. I am in control of your life and death. You are nothing but a blind enemy.
There's nothing worse than someone who thinks they are above consequences.
Saw the nines. Okay. I think maybe it's going on for a bit too long.
Yes. That is something very much we'll talk about after the fact.
Yeah.
How does it feel knowing that your last chance at life is now fading
Yeah.
before your eyes?
I stopped feeling anything a long time ago.
Lying till your last breath, I see.
I do like this of the player fucking dying at the end. It's very funny.
That's cool. I like that.
So yeah, the biggest... I have a couple issues with this. The
Yeah.
first one is it goes on for too long.
Yeah. I've been trying to not say it while it's happening, but I'm just like, okay, and then it's still going,
Yeah.
going, okay.
This is I will say too, this is this is their first episode.
Okay.
First as a showrunner. From what I learned from talking to one of the both to the showrunner and one of the animators on this, is that the biggest issue with this is there were no storyboards, which ended up make things go on for much longer than they originally intended.
Okay.
The other issue I have with this is about the last third of the fight is very incomprehensible.
Yeah, I think the voice actor for Chara was fine. I had problems hearing them.
The sound design was also rough, specifically for the voice actors for Chara. Her voice lines were very lower than everything else going on.
Yeah, and I feel like, literally speaking, I lost what the plot was happening at that point because I'm like, the saying stuff.
But yeah, I do think the first third of this is pretty good. It's not anyone's first time animating, but truly the biggest issue is just kind of the pacing and the ending bit just being very hard to follow what was going on. What also I think didn't help the pacing was Kara's fighting style in the last third, which was pretty much just the knife, yeah.
Yeah.
In the first bit, you have them using multiple different things. You have them using the gun, you have them using the pan, etc., etc. More than just the knife. But yeah, and admittedly, a lot of these criticisms I am levying are things that the creator already fucking knows.
Yeah.
So it's not anything particularly new to them.
Yeah, this is me with my honest reaction, but I imagine, hey, they've probably done bigger and better things since then.
Well, they only have one other episode out, which we
bigger and better thing.
We will we will be watching that later, but we're just watching the there's two I want to watch the analysis portions for, and then we'll get into watching the fights for others.
Yeah, so I can't really, well, I can be critical, but hey, for a first time, that was good. Especially, it's hard to make a show full stop. Kudos for them.
Yes, it is.
Kudos for them for actually doing it, and kudos for them for getting it out there. It is especially hard to make action, and it is very difficult. And I think they almost got there. It's just that, they didn't. If they didn't have storyboarding, it's hard to tell how to start or end the thing. And
Well,
unfortunately,
they probably
we
had
know.
a script, but it was
Yeah.
there's a big difference between animating off a script and animating
Mhm.
off a storyboard. Like,
And
that's
I think
the point of storyboards.
exactly. And I think you can only have Chara stab a certain amount of times before it
Mhm.
gets boring.
Yeah.
But yeah, like kudos. I think I hope that they do more.
So, the one thing I wanted to talk about regarding the showrunner paying his people very well. Can you guess how much the budget for most Nebula Theater episodes are?
Well, I was gonna say it was low, but then you made like a kind of thing. So I'm gonna say $5,000.
More.
10,000?
Yes, it's each episode
10,000.
of Nebula Theater costs 10,000 to make. Around there,
Well,
anyway.
can I be on the production team?
Yeah, no, and he does admit he pays much higher than the average.
Yeah.
But because I mean, running a show like this, there are corners you can cut in a lot of ways. Especially if you're something I've very much learned doing research for my own project. Is that people very much get away with not paying voice actors.
Yep. Voice actors, animators, they usually get the low end of the stick, the short end of the stick, not the low end, Sonia. And it's really sad. So like, hey,
Yeah.
extra kudos. I'm giving these guys a lot of kudos, even more kudos. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is a little funny that we start with this one because I do think Nebula Theater is doing the best in terms of the in terms of this sphere of indie versus shows. I think it does a lot of things right. That's not to say, obviously we just talked about the criticisms we have of it, but it's still, I would say, probably the closest thing, if not very similar in quality to Death Battle as a production.
It's still high quality. There's still kinks to be ironed out, but they're getting there. And I look forward to seeing how they are in the future.
And scene.
These two are
Which you
absolute monsters
will
that
very
can
soon.
destroy and recreate worlds in an
Woohoo!
instant, both
Future!
potentially being limitless with how strong and fast they can be at their best. So there are some interesting factors to think about in this fight. We broke it down into a few very important questions.
The first question is, could these two even kill each other?
It may seem impossible at first, seeing as X is composed of dark matter and Chara has their save points, but surprisingly, they both had ways to put the other down for good.
Chara's universe-destroying slash destroyed everything. Every creature, location, time, and space, as well as even the game file.
Oh, and yes, I something I will say before anyone brings it up. Yes, you have entered a power scaling thing. If that's a problem, don't talk to me about it.
As of Undertale.
It's true that dark matter can't be touched by almost any form of energy, but if someone can interact with intangible beings like souls or ghosts, they should be able to harm or kill X in this dark matter form.
And since Chara's attack created a void of nothingness, killing even those intangible beings, that slash should be able to kill X.
Chara can use their
God, that
determination to
fucking
come back to life,
RWC.
but X has its black hole. This black hole erases the existence of anyone or anything it touches.
X could easily eat Chara's save points to erase their way of coming back, and has methods to get rid of the source of Chara's determination, such as stealing the soul of both Frisk and the player. This leads to the second question, who is the more skilled fighter? Which this one does have a pretty obvious answer.
Chara is the strongest being in Undertale's universe, but they didn't start that way.
They had to fight their way up the ladder. dying and restarting over and over, getting better after each retry.
X has never thought of being comparable to itself. In fact, when it gets outsmarted by normal humans, it has the tendency to rage quit and crash its own game.
As the fight goes on, Chara would start gaining the edge, while X would get more and more aggravated.
But X wouldn't make this easy on Chara, especially when we consider our third question, who had better weapons and abilities?
Chara had some neat weapons and could heal their soul with items, but X just plays in a completely different ballpark.
X can teleport around, create illusions, manipulate anything within its void, and manipulate a person's emotions.
As cool as Chara is, all they can really do is slash at X. While X has tons of ways to keep Chara on the back foot and keep its distance.
So Chara is a more skilled fighter, and X has way more abilities, but the last and most important question is, who is better at manipulating souls and how do they affect the real world?
It's possible Chara can potentially steal the player's soul, but the player needs to agree to that for Chara to take it completely. Outside of that, Chara erases files in the game.
Fight horror
That's about
Goku.
X can send parts of its essence
Sonic
to the
is
real
just
world,
Goku.
manipulate humans to do its bidding,
true.
give them nightmares, and even leave the game entirely for a brief amount
I
of
love
time
how
to
this
take the
segment
soul
is
and stuff
called
it inside of
Paul.
one of its avatars.
Now, even without all that, X can still learn a ton about someone just by having a small interaction with them.
Things like Chara's existence within Frisk, the player's existence, and Undertale's game mechanics are all things X should have information on, meaning that X knows exactly what he needs to do to kill Chara permanently. X would just need to stop playing around with its food first.
This was a fight that showed a lot of soul, but save for a few options. X had just enough to avoid defeat. Chara couldn't help but fall behind.
So as the curtains close
Hee hee.
Yeah, Sonic.EXE's canonical name is X.
Yeah.
and we take a bow, the last person you see standing on the stage is Sonic.EXE.
Okay. Oh. The funny one versus the sad one. Got it.